Hello, everybody. My name is Rolando Lopez, and I'm currently a student in the biology honors program. My research is on exploring the network of student success change agents at a four-year majority minority institution. So a quick overview of the problem and rationale of my study. We know that there are several world problems such as climate change, air pollution, ocean acidification that can be solved through a well-educated STEM workforce. However, fewer than 40% of students who intend to pursue a STEM degree actually achieve one. And for this reason, and for many others, college campuses and different institutions have been investing time and money to find interventions, initiatives to support student success. So most of the focus on STEM and interventions have been on changing individual teaching practices of instructors. But we know that there are deep barriers such as faculty time and faculty perspectives on teaching that make this job very difficult. So instead of trying to focus on individual teaching practices as the only solution, some researchers suggest that we should focus on the systems where these interventions take place. Otherwise, we run into the problem of not knowing if the interventions said by the set will actually help the students and if they will even reach the students to begin with. So one way that we can analyze the system is through something known as social network analysis, which can provide insight into the knowledge within the network, the knowledge shared between people in the network, and it can also give us an idea of how the strength of the interaction between the people, the intensity, the frequency, and the direction of interactions. It can let us know, in other words, if the people are communicating with each other, if they're working isolated from each other, and it can give us an idea what we can do to modify the network if that's something that we want to do to help aim at student success. So at this point, there is very little research in higher education on social network analysis. Most of the research is on in K through 12 settings and in businesses. But we know that social network analysis is a critical thing that can be used in higher education because it can let us know if, for example, if an advising center is working isolated from a tutoring center, or if the tutoring center is working in isolation from SI, supplemental instruction. And most of the SNA work goes against the literature that's some of the literature that suggests that all the initiatives have to start from a formal setting. SNA lets us know that informal settings are also a place where we can generate change. And this is where social network analysis steps in. For my study, I collected my data at a four-year institution with that is research intensive in the western side of the United States. I was able to get 61 participants in the fall of 2021. And out of the 61 participants, I generated a network of 150 people. And in this study, I collected data from 7 departments, but I also got some members mentioned that do not work in these 7 departments. So for the survey that I gave out to the participants, I used a survey template similar to Portoka's and Henderson's work. And I asked questions on demographics, age, gender, questions on student success. And I also used a platform known as Social Network V to analyze my results, to generate graphs, and to quantitatively look at my results. And these are screenshots of the survey that I gave out, where you can see that I asked people about the faculty from a list of faculties to select people they talk to and the frequency of their interactions. And I also looked at between us and using Social Network V, I looked at 5 different measurements to analyze my results, but for the purpose of this presentation and due to time constraints, I will only focus on between centrality and degree centrality. Between centrality lets us know which of the people are important to help unite groups that are otherwise disconnected. Degree centrality, on the other hand, lets us know which of the characters, people in the network have a high activity and are important because they have several connections. So the overall research questions that I have based on my like curiosity are who are the key change agents in the network and how frequently do individuals interact. So now for my results. So for the betweenness centrality measurement, as we can see, some of the people in the network are do not have any connections whatsoever. And we can also see the formation of some clusters. On this side, we can see the formation of some clusters on this side, and on this other side. And based on the results and the social network B calculations, some of the nodes that have a high betweenness centrality are node 13 with a BC of 19.59%. 60 has the second highest BC of 17.44%. And the overall social network graph has a 2.05% betweenness centrality. And for my degree centrality results, as we can see on this radial image, that some of the people in the network have are more central to the network than others. And the node with the highest degree centrality is at node 3 with a 10.65 degree centrality. 51 has the second highest degree centrality, and number 1 has the lowest. And the mean degree centrality for this network is 0.66%. Other results that are relevant to my study, and based on the calculations I have for the frequency of interactions, is that 65% of the people or the nodes in this study exclusively talk to people within their own department. And also the people that are highlighted by the social net analysis, the people that have a high BC or a high DC, also have a high frequency of interaction with other nodes in the network. And most of the clustering that happens within the network is with friends, people that have been in the department, and people usually tend to gravitate towards long-term relationships when they form their clusters. And now for my discussions. So based on the literature and what the literature says about gatekeepers, gatekeepers can connect subgroups that would otherwise be disconnected. And in the case of my study, the subgroups that are critical that we found with a high BC, these members can help connect groups and help spread information that would otherwise be isolated from other people. And this would ultimately affect the way that students receive information within a network. And we also know from the literature that strong ties within groups are defined by frequent interaction, and that these strong frequent interactions lead to complex level work within a system. And this type of complex level work also generates in-depth two-way communication. And this is exactly what we see in our network. Like I mentioned, people that have a high BC and DC, some of them are also found to have a high frequency of interactions with their peers. So the literature also supports that existing relationships are better for initiatives and for generating change. And we can also see that leaders that have more connections can foster support and change and provide innovative ideas that can influence other people. So these leaders are critical for our study. And as we can see, like I mentioned for the study and for the results, most of the people tend to gravitate towards relationships, long-term relationships. And the literature suggests that existing relationships are better for change initiatives. And the people that earned a high degree centrality and betweenness centrality in my network, those people are good candidates for fostering and supporting change and providing innovative ideas that can potentially have good effects towards student success. And now for some of the limitations of my study. Some of the limitations are due to COVID-19, and also because during the time of my study, some people were not able or were not active on campus. And this could definitely affect the way that my network operates and the way that the social network analysis instrument read my results. So at this point, and here are my references. And I want to thank all of you for taking the time to listen to my presentation. If you have any questions, please let me know. I am more than happy to address any of them. Thank you.